All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling DAX and specifically
the nextT function.
the nextT function.
It's been generating a lot of buzz.
It has.
In the data viz community.
Absolutely. And we've got a whole stack of articles and notes here, and we're going to try to break it all down for you.
You know what I think is so fascinating about the nextT function? It's like it lets you do time travel.
Time travel.
In your data visualizations.
Okay, hold on. You got to give me more on that.
Yeah,
time travel. How?
Okay, so imagine this, right? You're building a chart in Excel, and you want to compare values across different points.
Okay.
That's where nXT comes in. It basically lets you grab values from further down the line in a visual matrix.
Okay, so like a concrete example.
Sure. So let's say you're looking at website traffic trends over time.
Okay.
With nXT, you could easily compare this week's numbers to last week's.
Oh,
See what I mean?
Yeah,
like a little peek into the future of your data.
That's pretty cool. I've been actually like wrestling with this chart showing website traffic trends, and it would be amazing if I could just like quickly compare like this week's numbers to last week's without having to like manually pull every single data point.
Right, and that's exactly what this function does.
So is that kind of what we're talking about here?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You could compare this week to last week or even this week to the same week last month.
Wow.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah, that was saving me so much time last week.
Right.
I can already see how this is going to be a game changer for my data analysis.
It is.
But how does it actually work? Like, what's the nuts and bolts?
Okay, so the basic syntax is NAXT, column, steps, axis, blanks, reset.
All right.
A little intimidating maybe at first.
Yeah.
But we'll break it down.
Okay.
So you start by telling it which column you want to pull the data from.
Okay.
Like in your case, website traffic numbers.
Got it. So it needs to know like where to look.
Exactly.
Can I like choose just a specific range within that column, or does it always work with the whole thing?
Good question. So the function itself works with the entire column.
Okay.
But you can use other DAX functions to filter and define the specific range you're interested in.
Interesting. So it's all about like combining the power of all these different DAX things.
It's like building blocks.
Gotcha. Okay, so then what about these optional parameters that you mentioned?
Right.
Steps seems pretty straightforward, like telling it how many rows ahead you want to left.
Exactly. It's like taking steps along the axis of your chart.
Okay.
You know, if you want to compare this week to 2 weeks ago, set steps to 2.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
And what about axis? Is that like for when I have a really complex chart with multiple dimensions?
Precisely. If your visual has multiple levels of data, like regions and then cities within each region axis, tells the function which direction to move in for its calculations.
Okay, starting to paint a picture here in my head.
Good.
I gotta admit though, blanks and reset sound a little intimidating.
I know they sound scary, but they're not that bad.
Okay.
Blanks deals with any empty cells in your data. Let's say you had a week where you didn't track your traffic.
Okay.
Do you want the calculation to treat that blank cell like a 0, push it to the beginning or end of your range, or use the default behavior? It's up to you.
Okay, so like what if I actually want to include blank cells in my calculations?
You can. That's the beauty of DAX.
Oh,
it gives you that flexibility.
So blanks is really all about just like controlling those empty cells.
It is. It's about making sure your calculations are accurate, whether you include blanks or not.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now reset, that's the one that's really got me curious.
Okay, think of reset like a trip odometer in your car.
Right.
Let's say you're comparing each city's sales to the next city's sales.
Okay.
But your chart also shows different regions.
Okay.
Reset lets you choose whether the calculation starts fresh at each new region or if it keeps going continuously across all the cities.
Oh.
So if you tie the reset to the region level, the calculation will restart every time you move to a new region.
Whoa. That makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
I was having trouble wrapping my head around reset before,
Right.
but your example with the regions and cities totally clicked.
I'm glad it clicked. It is the most complex part of the function.
It is.
But once you get it,
Yeah.
it's powerful.
It's like a secret weapon
It is.
for my data.
Right.
Yeah. Last month, I was working on this project comparing sales performance across different product categories, and this would have been so helpful.
Absolutely. You can use NXT for all sorts of things.
Oh, yeah.
Analyzing trends over time.
Yeah.
Comparing performance across categories. Spotting anomalies.
This is awesome.
It's a versatile tool.
So for anybody out there listening who's like struggling to get a handle on their data,
Yeah,
this is a function worth exploring.
definitely.
It might take some experimenting,
A little bit.
but the insights you can uncover are definitely worth it.
Absolutely. And here's a question for everyone listening. How could you use the next T function to forecast future trends based on your existing data?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. All right, data enthusiasts, we encourage you to dive into the world of DAX and discover the power of the next T function. Who knows what incredible insights you'll unearth.
Exactly. Have fun with it.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.